Marina Mabrey body checking Caitlin Clark to the ground. JC Sheldon all over her. Riding her. Pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye. Oh, man. Caitlin Clark needs to start wearing goggles, folks. Caitlin Clark's going to need to start wearing goggles. Bumps up on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark says, "Get your hands off me." And then here comes Marina Mabrey. Boom! Exploding Caitlin Clark like a safety coming downhill in the NFL. There was no flop there. Marina Mabrey did a straight beeline run.
What if I told you this was all part of a secret plan? Like some WNBA Illuminati-level takedown where Caitlin Clark's ankles had no chance against Marina Mabrey's launch. 1 second she's dribbling, the next, boom, she's hitting the hardwood in slow motion. Was it a foul? Sabotage? Or was Marina just out here doing parkour on the court? Either way, Clark hit the floor hard like a dropped phone. Trust me, you'll want to see the replay and connect the dots. It's almost like there's some hidden agenda behind the chaos. And Clark's fall was just the beginning.
You can't claw someone in the eye. Eject her. Eject both of them. Eject both of them. So there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nothing there. JC Sheldon claws her in the eye. Then the two of them get into it. And then Mabrey just goes and shoves her onto the ground. Eject both of them. Eject both of them.
What happens when you mix a WNBA star with the force of pure pettiness? You get Marina Mabrey charging at Caitlin Clark like it's the WWE. No box out, no screen, just a full-blown shove that could have rivaled a linebacker's hit. And the referees? They were just over there tying their shoelaces, seemingly oblivious, as if integrity was somewhere off the aisle. It was a move fueled by frustration and bravado, turning a simple play into a spectacle of petty rivalry. Sometimes, the game's bigger than basketball. It's about sending a message.
Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Shout out to the Indiana Fever. I'm feeling good, folks. Welcome to WNBA Fight Night, or as some people are saying, WNBA Raw. What a game that was. We had it all. We had basketball, we had fighting, we had blonde on blonde crime. Oh, such an epic. Oh, goodness.
Apparently, you can now body slam America's top player and stroll away like you just returned a library book. No ejection, no serious foul, just a quick finger wag and a being physical pat on the back. It's unbelievable. Maybe next game they'll award medals for the hardest elbow on Caitlin Clark without consequences. Gold goes to Marina, silver to the ref, and bronze? That's reserved for the WNBA front office, which seems totally asleep at the wheel of the Caitlin Clark Protection Act. It's a wild double standard that's hard to ignore.
Damn, your teammate poked Caitlin in the eye. She poked her in the eye, but you want to come get mad when Caitlin's shoving her away? Come on, fam, what are you doing? Then you blindsiding Caitlin. That's crazy work. That's crazy. I'm surprised Marina Mabrey got away with that. I'm surprised she got away with that. I thought somebody was going to chin check her and talk to her. I'm surprised.
Let's analyze this situation. Caitlin Clark, the reason the WNBA is trending for the first time in years, once again becomes the target. It's not just defensive pressure, it's outright targeted harassment. She's the only player who faces fouls more for simply existing than for scoring. Marina Mabrey made that perfectly clear with a two-handed nudge that, in any youth soccer game, would have earned her a red card. This pattern of unfair treatment highlights a troubling double standard, where Clark's talent is overshadowed by the need to punish her physically, revealing a deeper issue in the game's integrity.
All right, you guys, we need to talk. I just finished the Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun game. We were live on YouTube. For all of you guys who are in the live watch party, shout out to all of you. That was a wild one. That was so unexpected. We were in the first half. We were yawning. We were like, oh, this game is boring. It's not good basketball. Then all of a sudden, everything got spicy.
Let's call it what it was. Assault in sneakers. And the refs? Oh, naive children. They saw that flying forearm, blinked twice, and decided she probably just tripped over a breeze. Caitlin hits the floor like she's auditioning for a Fast and Furious spin-off, courtside edition. Yet nothing happens. No ejection, no flagrant foul, not even a stern post-it note. Marina strolls away like she just delivered a pizza. Calm, composed, and completely untouchable. It's a clear double standard, where physicality toward Clark goes unpunished, while she's expected to shake it off and keep playing.
JC Sheldon scratched her in the eye. Like, she literally, you can see it here. She's just clawed her. Like, what are we watching? She just clawed her in the eye. Like, how do you miss that as ref? Like, you cannot do anything other than eject somebody.
Why does the league think this behavior is acceptable? Caitlin Clark is undeniably their star, carrying the league's ratings, headlines, future endorsements, and hopes of elevating women's basketball beyond a glorified YMCA league. So how do they repay her? With floor burns, cheap shots, and blatant disregard. Meanwhile, thank goodness for Sophie Cunningham. She's the league's last line of common sense, compassion, and protective instinct. While others acted like Caitlin had insulted their families, Sophie stepped up like the big sister we all wish we had. She saw what was happening and said, "Not today, Satan," without resorting to punches or theatrics. Instead, she simply stood by Caitlin, defended her, and voiced what many with functioning eyes could see: that Mabrey should have been ejected and the referees should have been penalized just as strongly. But instead, Caitlin was shoved, dragged, slammed, stepped on, and micromanaged while the league watched passively, as if to say, "Is she still breathing? Cool, play on, let's be honest." If roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark had pulled that stunt on Mabrey, the refs would have called a tribunal at mid-court, breaking news alerts, congressional hearings, and ESPN reruns with dramatic music. Has Caitlin Clark gone too far? They'd ask, as Marina, clutching an ice pack, looked on, disillusioned. This double standard is glaring, and it's clear the league needs to do better to protect its star and uphold fairness.
And Marina Mabrey, she got hot. She body checked CC to the ground a la Kennedy Carter. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, is anybody on this team gonna stand up for Caitlin Clark? JC Sheldon grabbing Caitlin Clark all game, clawing at her. It's like tonight was a brawl, folks. Tonight was a brawl, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, is anybody on this team going to stand up for? And Sophie Cunningham.
But because it's Caitlin, suddenly it's labeled a learning moment or a physical game. Oh sure, and I suppose Santa's real, and the Tooth Fairy handles payroll for the WNBA? Give me a break. Don't think the league hasn't noticed the underlying hate. The constant fouls, sidelong glances from other players, and snide post-game comments that sound like rejected lines from Mean Girls. They all scream the same thing. Jealousy. Yes, jealousy. Plain and simple. Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into the WNBA. She kicked down the door. She brought the ratings, the sellouts, the media buzz. She's the moment, and some players can't stand that they're not the focus. So now, they've turned every game into their personal Let's Humble Caitlin campaign. Make no mistake, this isn't just basketball anymore, it's a turf war. Caitlin has become the WNBA's litmus test for whether the league truly wants to grow, or if it's content to eat its young. The truth is, Caitlin Clark is too talented for this nonsense. She didn't work her entire life to make it to the pros just to be shoved around like she's trying to cut in line at the DMV. She came to play, to elevate the game, to inspire others. Instead, she's dodging elbows like it's the Hunger Games, wondering whether the refs need glasses or just some courage. And where is the WNBA commissioner in all of this? Probably drafting a "We Stand for Safety" tweet while watching Caitlin get body checked into another dimension. Apparently letting your biggest star get assaulted every other game is part of the league's growth strategy.
And man, I'm here to tell you, F the WNBA, fix the fouls on CC, fix the ref. Mabrey is a classless B. It's all the way down. Let it be Angel Reese and there be an investigation. Joke of a company. The WNBA looks terrible right now.
Here's a revolutionary idea. Protect your stars. LeBron gets calls for blinking too fast. Tom Brady got flags if you looked at him wrong, but Caitlin Clark? She could get drop-kicked mid-crossover, and the refs would probably just shrug and say, let 'em play. And let's not pretend the officiating has been bad just for Caitlin. No, this season has been a dumpster fire of missed calls, bizarre decisions, and refs acting like they found their rulebook on Craigslist. But with Caitlin, it's like they've activated expert mode. Suddenly, every hip check is incidental contact, and every shove is just being scrappy. Scrappy? She was launched into next week, and y'all call that scrappy? That wasn't scrappy. That was a tactical strike. At this point, Caitlin should pack her bags and head overseas. Honestly, in Europe, they'd appreciate her talent. They'd roll out a red carpet, shower her with endorsements, and maybe, just maybe, protect her from becoming a human crash test dummy. And don't come crying later when the WNBA ratings dip faster than a crypto coin. Because without Caitlin Clark, the league would still be in the shadows. Remember that. She's not just playing the game. She's saving the brand. And what does she get in return? Flying elbows, intentional fouls, and the coldest stares this side of Antarctica. And don't forget the media spin. She needs to toughen up. Oh, of course, because getting thrown to the floor twice a night builds character, right? Maybe next time Marina should hit her with a chair, and we'll call it emotional growth.
JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because JC stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlin pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark to the ground.
The hypocrisy is impossible to ignore. The league craves her star power, her massive following, her press, her endorsements, yet they turn a blind eye to her safety and well-being. They'll gladly promote her highlights, but when she hits the floor after taking a forearm to the ribs or a reckless foul, they act like nothing happened. It's as if they're intentionally turning her into a target, maybe even handing out bonus points for anyone who can make her bleed. And let's not forget the fans, especially those booing her, acting like she owes them something. She gets up, dusts herself off, and delivers passes with the precision of a sniper with a PhD. And the most remarkable part? She never complains. She lets the media fumble through their scripts while she remains the calm, steady force. The true professional in a chaotic, passive-aggressive league. But maybe it's time we raise our voices. If the league refuses to protect her, then the fans must step in and demand change. Sophie Cunningham shouldn't be the only one showing backbone. If the league can't see what they have in Caitlin Clark, then maybe they don't deserve her talent, her fire, or her spirit.
And physical. Foul. Oh. Yo, get out of here. Get out of here. Cheap shot. Just tackled her. Toss her. Oh, get out of here. Don't act tough. It's a punk move. That's a foul. A claw to the face. The total, look. Claw to the face. That's not the concern, really. Why is she jawing her after she clawed her? And then that's just like a cheap, that's just like a dirty play. You're a dirty player, plain and simple. Dirty play.
So go ahead, WNBA. Keep pretending it's all fair and balanced while your brightest star gets hip-checked into another time zone. Keep acting like the refs are just doing their jobs, while they officiate like they're playing pin the foul on the donkey. Keep brushing off incidents like Mabrey's shove as competitive spirit, while fans replay the footage in horror. But don't be shocked when Caitlin says enough, because one day she might just pack up, cross the ocean, and ball out somewhere she's actually appreciated. And when that happens, don't cry. Don't tweet sad face emojis. Don't write think pieces about what went wrong. We'll tell you what went wrong. You failed her. And Sophie Cunningham? She didn't. So hats off to Sophie, the league MVP in basic decency. It's like winning the lottery and setting the ticket on fire because someone's feelings might get hurt. Caitlin Clark has brought legitimacy, eyeballs, and money to a league that's been desperate for all three. But instead of creating an environment where she can thrive, the system seems to be setting her up like she's public enemy number one. Every single game becomes a gladiator arena, where she's not just competing against opponents, but enduring some twisted trial by hostility. And for what? For outshining the old guard? For being too successful too fast?
Caitlin actually shoots it in Sheldon's eye. Give her some good wording. I don't know if she said, "You like that?" or what. I don't know what she said. But coming at Sheldon on a big one. Like, yeah, take some of that. Take some of that. Honestly, man, this is the rivalry that people might need to be talking about right here, man. Third quarter, they're up 20. Indiana Fever up 20 at this point.
The silence from league leadership is deafening. No statements, no memos, not even a vague acknowledgement of player safety. Meanwhile, highlight reels show Caitlin Clark being tossed around like she's made of foam and Velcro. If the league's leadership believes this approach is sustainable, they've clearly overlooked crucial lessons on talent retention and brand integrity. But it's not just physical brutality. There's a disturbing culture developing. Resentment simmers beneath the surface. Veterans throwing shade, coaches making passive-aggressive comments, and players acting like Caitlin's rise was accidental, as if she didn't earn her fame. Spoiler, she did. She shattered records, rewrote narratives, and grabbed national attention long before her first WNBA paycheck. The league's failure to protect and support her speaks volumes. If they won't stand up for her, the fans must. Caitlin Clark's talent and resilience deserve better than this silence.
Once again, we got JC Sheldon right here. She's going to give Caitlin Clark the Dejanay Carrington eye gouge. And then Marina Mabrey's going to come in like some thug off the street and pull a Kennedy Carter on Caitlin Clark. Let's watch
Caitlin
this.
Clark is trying to create some.
I'm going to turn this down. There's the eye gouge, okay? And there's Mabrey right there with the hip check, the shove. That's the eye gouge. And then right there. Good God Almighty.
So, lads, today the referees gave the report on the situation, and it's even worse. It's even worse than I imagined, and it was pretty grim. Like, it was a pretty grim overall.
So where's the accountability? Where's the leadership stepping up to say this isn't how we treat our stars, or even this isn't how we grow the sport? The lack of structure, the failure to address blatant fouls, and the indifference to mounting hostility send a clear message. Figure it out yourself, kid. But she's already been doing just that. Through every late hit, eye roll, and cheap shot, she's remained standing. She keeps scoring, showing up, and demonstrating resilience that's rare to see. If the league can't recognize her strength and perseverance, it's not just letting her down, it's sabotaging its own future. Ignoring the seriousness of the situation only undermines the sport's integrity and the next generation of players watching her lead by example. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.